There's a 6-minute stay safe video I'm going to watch too, just to get his opinion on how he feels about Dragonflight as well.
What is up, guys? Stay safe here. Now, Dragonflight has been out for just about 1 week, and I have been playing it a lot, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have. Now, of course, it is totally too soon to give a complete, comprehensive overview of Dragonflight in its entirety, but I do want to go ahead and drop some thoughts based off of what we've experienced so far over the last week or so, and I want to break it down into a few different categories. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is zone design. The zones in the last several World of Warcraft expansions have become progressively more cramped, full to the brim of monsters, NPCs,
treasures,
Easter eggs, interactable objects, treasures, and I feel like in the process of making these zones feel like they're bursting at the seams with things to do and see inside the zone.
It doesn't feel like a world anymore. It feels like a bunch of different levels. Yeah, I felt like BFA, and I think this really kind of started with WoD. And then it just kind of got worse, and then in Shadowlands there's a million of these too, where like every area has like 7 different objectives to it. It's like
you end up not even focusing on the zone itself. In a way, I would liken recent WoW zone design to an I Spy book, where you're always hyper-focused on hunting the little things within the scenery, rather than taking a step back and enjoying the scenery in its entirety. In this regard, I think Dragonflight zone design is actually stellar. The zones are large, expansive, there's enough empty space for you to truly have a sense of immersion.
Do you guys agree with that? I think that the Dragonflight zones have been a huge improvement in that way too. That like they feel like actual zones and not just levels in a video game.
Within the zone, rather than pointing your nose down and looking for tiny treasures on the ground, you're encouraged to look up and realize that you are the tiny treasure on the ground. Simply put, for me, these are the best zones that WoW has seen in around a decade, to be totally honest. The next thing I want to talk about is leveling and questing. And if you guys know me, you know that I'm not a fan of this super linear, super conveyor belt style sort of main story quest leveling in MMOs. But as far as that goes, this is Blizzard's best iteration of that questing style that we've seen over the last several expansions since they adopted that.
I would absolutely agree with that. I think that overall, the leveling in Dragonflight is the best leveling has been since WoD. The leveling is very fast, it's smooth, you never worry about like how long it's taking, it just happens on its own.
It felt like the right length, I have to say first off. It didn't drag on, and it didn't cut short. The quests were all generally enjoyable, and the in-game cinematics and cutscenes were actually pretty good and added a lot to the experience if you care about that.
I think they were massively better. This is a tremendous step up.
Additionally, if you're like me and you disdain these gimmicky quests that heavily rely on vehicles that introduce a new action bar of abilities you'll read once and then never use again, or you dislike all of these annoying to use, cumbersome quest items, Dragonflight questing is actually pretty tolerable in that regard also, much more than some previous expansions I've played in World of Warcraft. I'll put it this way, I'd rather level up in Dragonflight than in Classic Wrath of the Lich King, and I think that says a lot.
Would I agree? Yes, I would definitely agree with that. Yeah, Dragonflight's a lot better than that. Because like Classic Wrath, you're just like doing a bunch of quests over and over and over and over and over. Right? Yeah, questing is way better. Absolutely.
Real quick, before we move on to the next section, I do want to take a moment to talk about my company's Christmas charity drive. Up to December 20th.
See, this is the new meta, guys, is that instead of actually putting up other people's ads, you just start your own company, and then you do ads for yourself.
5th, that's Christmas Day.
Yeah.
With each box
embed your own ads
purchased, we will be donating $5 to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, which helps children all over the world. Now, Power Gum is a caffeine vitamin chewing gum with vitamin D, B3, B6, and B12, and 50 milligrams of caffeine per piece. And I'll tell you, it works. And it will change the way that you consume caffeine additionally. And it'll also make a really good Christmas gift or stocking stuffer. So make sure to check out the description of the video and make a purchase for a great cause. But next up, I want to talk about the talent trees in Dragonflight. And I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to say it. Dragonflight talent trees are the best talent trees that WoW has ever had. I love
Dragonflight talent trees, best talent trees WoW has ever had. Probably true. Yeah, I would say probably true on that one.
the duality of the class-based and spec-based talent tree system, which adds a ton of depth to your decision making, and I love the wide array of playstyles that can be found just within one spec. That is to say, for example, that not all Affliction Warlocks will have the same rotation based on the talents that they choose. Generally, all of the talents are interesting and have a lot more depth than something like makes your Frostbolt hit for 2%
yeah, it just does more damage or
like
something boring like
that.
Yeah,
with on some of the old school talent trees back in the day. Additionally, this talent tree format leaves a ton of room for players to make unique specs for specific encounters or dungeons or specific bosses, save them as a loadout, then swap between them super easily. Then I want to talk about dragon riding, which is one of the biggest features, the biggest new additions in Dragonflight. Now, I'm just going to be blunt. Dragon riding is very obviously a good addition for the game.
Yeah.
For anyone that has spent time playing various other single-player games or even some other MMOs, you realize how stale WoW's mount system has become. Prior to Dragonflight, it was essentially unchanged since 2007 with the addition of flying mounts in the Burning Crusade.
It's true.
That is 15 years of essentially zero innovation. And side note, flying mounts in WoW just allow you to swim through the air very quickly. It's mechanically the same, so even that wasn't super revolutionary.
Yeah, the WoW mounts were never anything super crazy. He's right about that.
But yeah, I've got to hand it to Blizzard. They sure didn't invent the essence of dragon riding. We all know that they took some inspiration from some other games, to say the least.
They stole it from Guild Wars too.
They executed it very well, and they did end up coming up with a really good progression system and roster of customization
I cannot wait
options
till I
to go
get that one.
alongside it. I have to say, my only real complaint about dragon riding is that it should have been added to the game 10 years ago. I gotta be honest with you guys. When I had planned on making this video originally, I had planned on being much more critical of Dragonflight, but after my week 1 experience, it's kind of hard to be critical. I actually, sincerely, really am enjoying my time spent playing Dragonflight so far. Blizzard has really trimmed the
There's a Blizzard employee with a gun pointed at him right off the camera. Like, the moment that he goes off script, he's done.
Gotten rid of all of the stupid waste of time borrowed power grinds you know are not going to last long term, and returned to a much more traditional MMO progression formula. And right now, playing Dragonflight, I feel like my time is very rewarded, and like my time is being respected. How long is that feeling going to last? I don't know. This is the 1 week commentary video. Maybe we can make a 1 month commentary video.
Yeah, I will do that.
We'll see how I'm feeling. But with this video especially, I really actually want to know your thoughts on this, so please drop a comment down below. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more videos like this. And also, before you go buy some Power Gum. Go check the link in the description and support a really good cause during the holidays. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay safe.
There it is. There it is. I am not surprised about this. Like, a lot of people that were previously super critical about WoW have been very positive about Dragonflight. There's the video right there. Stay safe. We all know him. Make sure to give it a like. Give him a sub if you haven't already. I was super skeptical. Well, let me ask you guys.
Wondered what your favorite?
Let me ask you guys. So, like, how do you all feel about how Dragonflight is now? Now that you've played it for like a week or so, do you agree with all that? Yeah, it's good. It's Matt. Yeah, I think it's pretty decent. Like, I've been enjoying it. It's not like it's not bad. Like, I like it. Yeah, I'm actually having fun playing the game. Like, I know that might sound crazy, but yeah, I'm actually having fun playing the game. Like, I think what I like about it is the fact that I can go and just do whatever I want. That's what matters to me the most.